So people keep asking me what my story is and what happened to me, like over and over. So I decided to make a YouTube video in order to answer those questions of exactly what happened to me. When I was 2 years old and 3 months, my family was gonna go to Mexico to visit. My dad was an evangelist, and he was gonna go there for the first time and evangelize. And when we got there, my dad painted the house for his best friend, the house that we were staying in. And anybody who knows, when you stay at a best friend's house, like when you paint a house in general, it is a mess. And especially when you're staying at a best friend's house, you want it to be clean, you want it to be nice, because you want to be a good guest. My mom was cleaning up the house. My dad went to go take a nap because painting is probably one of the most exhausting things in the world in general. And so I was outside playing. My brothers went to go hang out with some friends. And when anybody who has children understands that a child can get into trouble like quick in a matter of seconds. And with me, that was no different. I have this thing that I do that to this day where I get a bottle of water and I pour it on the back of my neck or on my head because it gets really hot. And in Monterrey, Mexico, it's really really hot. Like it gets hot, like really bad. And so I did that. And when I got the bottle of water and I poured it on my head, it wasn't something that was liquid like regular liquid. It was something that was flammable. And so we speculated because I was 2 years old. When I smelled the fumes, I tried to throw it away, but when I threw it away, um, the flammable liquid actually hit the pilot of a gas water heater, and whatever I had in my right hand exploded. And when that happened, my mom heard the explosion and saw that I was on fire and had exploded on fire. And my mom tried to put me out, but while she was putting me out and trying her best to put me out, she also caught on fire and lost control of the flame that she was trying to contain. And my dad tells me that he heard a scream that you never want to hear from a significant other. You know what I mean? Like you never want to hear that kind of scream for somebody that you love. And my dad woke up, went outside, and started to try to put my mom out right away. And the first thing he asked once he puts her out, he's like, "Where's Josh? I don't see Josh. Where is he?" And my mom picks up her hand and points at a giant ball of fire, and my dad automatically understands that's him, but he doesn't know if I'm in that flame or not. He doesn't know for a fact that I'm there, but he jumps into the fire anyways, grabs onto whatever he can grab onto, and he puts me out, and he hands me to my mother. And my dad went inside, and when he went inside, he stepped he stepped on his feet for the first time after being on fire, and he had blisters all over his feet. And when that happened, the blisters popped, and all the bottom of his feet shaved off. So he fell really hard. He got back up, tried to do the same thing. The other foot slipped all the same, and he fell down and he passed out. My dad was trying to go inside to call 911 to call for help. And when when my dad woke up, he was in the hospital, and the doctor was there evaluating him, and he asked, "What about my family? How are they doing?" Um, the doctor was like, "You and your wife got burned 75% second and third degree burns. With rest and recuperation, you guys should be absolutely fine." And he's like, "What about my son? You didn't mention my son Josh. What happened to him?" And when the doctor got super serious, there was a serious pause. My dad tells me that there was a serious pause to the doctor. Like when a doctor pauses, it's never a good thing. You know what I mean? It's never when a doctor pauses, you know that it hurts him just as much telling you the news that you're about to hear. And when he told him, he's like he told him, Your son was burned 95% third degree, the maximum that a 2 year old can get burned. And we're flying him to Shriners Hospital along with your wife. And we don't expect him to make it to Shriners Hospital in Galveston. We don't expect him to make the trip. I give him a 1% chance to be able to live. And being the hard-headed survivor that I am, I made it. I made the flight. I made the flight over there. And my mom had a lot of visitors in her in her time of being recuperating. And I didn't know this till I got a little bit older. I thought my mom died because of complications of the burns, but the more I know, the older I got, the more I heard about everything that went on. My mom had too many visitors coming in and out of her house, family, brothers, sisters, and because of that, she got contaminated from germs, and her organs started shutting down because of the fact that there was too many people going in and out, and her immune system was so low that she passed away months after the accident. And imagine yourself for a moment being my dad, getting all this bad news back to back to back to back to back to back of news just hitting you so hard, you know what I mean? And the doctor went into my dad's room and he told him, like, he started tying him down preemptively, and my dad was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Reyes, but your wife just passed away." And my dad starts to try to get up, and the doctor ties his other arm down, and he tells him, and he's like, "What are you doing? I gotta go to my wife's funeral. I gotta go be there for my sons. My sons can't be there, and bury my wife by themselves." And he's like, "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't let you go. I can't let you go under the knowledge that I know that you will die if you go over there. If you go to the funeral, you will die. And as a doctor, I cannot let you go do that." And my brothers had to bury my mom by themselves, and my dad got a phone call um from my brothers, and he told them, he's like, "How can this be? How can this be that we're doing the right thing? We weren't trying to steal money from church. We weren't trying to embezzle money like most churches do. We weren't trying to be famous. We were just trying to do the right thing. Why did this happen to us? Why is it that you're in there in the hospital and not being able to be here with us?" It's like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair that this is happening to us. And to this day, one of my brothers actually has a very much hard time with that, with processing that information. The fact that his brother got burned 95% third degree, the fact that his dad got burned as much as he did, the fact that his mom passed away, and it's difficult for that to happen, for that to process that. And you can call it a miracle, you can call it doctors doing their jobs, I don't know, you can call it whatever you want, but I survived, and I'm alive here today. And I think I tell people this all the time. It's like, self acceptance is absolutely necessary. I think I say it at least 2 or 3 times on my stream, like every day. Self acceptance is extremely important. Um, People often ask me, how is it that you accept your situation, what you've been through, how you've been through it? What is your secret? And I say, accepting for what I am and for who I am is exactly my happiness. I am not under the false pretense that I look like Brad Pitt, but I do understand that beauty is beyond that. And for me, I am a physically attractive person because of who I am and what I accept about myself. Now, people ask me, "Oh, I wish I was as strong as you." You are. You are. If you want to be, you are. I hope that you never have to be as strong as me. I hope that you never have to go through the things that I go through. But if you ever do, you are. It's a choice, people. It's a choice whether or not you want to be strong or whether you don't want to be strong or not. It's your choice. And I understand that there's some people that have mental illness. You guys don't count. I understand that. I understand that you guys are hurting and hurting in a different way. But at the same time, for everybody else, you can. And remember that happiness isn't a destination. It isn't something that you get. It's not something that you buy to make yourself feel better. Happiness is on the road of your life that you accept for everything that's going on in your life. You accept yourself. You accept the obstacles. You accept everything that comes with it. And that is my key to being happy. That is my key for accepting everything that I have been through. And yeah, that's my story. If you guys want any more stories on what happened to me, just ask in the comment section and I'll be happy to do so.